And then this next topic has been a pretty big discussion, so I definitely want to get you guys' opinion. So after being named Times Athlete of the Year, Caitlin Clark apologized for her white privilege and says the WNBA is built on black players. She said, I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them. The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think it's very important. I have to continue to try to change that. The more we can elevate black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing. So of course you can see how this can bring two different arguments. Maurice, what do you think about Caitlin Clark saying that?
It's very honorable, what she said. And, she's probably seeing that, people who've had similar success or other success just haven't gotten the notoriety from it. And that can be for a number of reasons, and I don't want to get into all the reasons that, some people may have gotten the notoriety than others, right? But, there is two separate things. She gets a lot of notoriety because brands feel that they can align themselves next to her and sell products or advertise products. And the fan base is a white fan base who may consume the products that she associates herself with. And so both of those things are true, where it's true that she's got more notoriety and more black women should get as much notoriety and things to her. But then there's a brand discussion too, where brands may feel like, hey, we can't put the marketing dollars behind these women for whatever reason, be it their race or be it how they feel about them, and sell the same or similar products. And so she's definitely benefited from being white and having a white fan base. And kudos to her for just even having the courage to do that, because she had to know that she was going to get some sort of backlash. But hats off to her.
Oh man, I'm thinking about this because there's so much I want to say about this, but I'm gonna say this: if you're saying athlete of the year, is Terrence Crawford a athlete?
Correct. Yeah.
Is Tatum an athlete?
Yeah.
So when they say athlete of the year, do they mean female athlete of the year, or are we talking athlete?
The 2024 Athlete of the Year.
That's a lot of white privilege. Because I could think of so many people that have had extraordinary years of work. And I know if they were giving her this award, what they were thinking, even if it wasn't privilege. The one argument could be that she played so well in college and then had to struggle and found her way in the WNBA. But I don't think that merits the same accolades as somebody who does it on a professional level and does it so well consistently. Another thing, when she says that this is white privilege, it's great that she said that, but then the real honorable thing is don't take the award. Give the award to the person you believe deserve it. It feels like when Macklemore won the New Artist of the Year over Kendrick Lamar. It's one thing to say you don't deserve it, but give it to the person who it belongs to. That's even more honorable. I don't like when people say they're being honorable without following through on it. But I don't want to get too deep into it, pause, because then they'll start acting like we're going against women, and we're definitely not going against women.
Just real quick for context, so 2023 Times Athlete of the Year was Mase, and then 2022 is Aaron Judge. Just for context.
I want to know who had a better year than her. What athlete? Tell me. I'm just listening. Not saying. I'm trying to figure out who had a better year. She took a team that had nobody on it to the NCAA championship. Then she took a team that hasn't been to the playoffs in years in Indiana to the playoffs. Then broke every rookie NBA record on the way while doing it. And then got over the hump. Did they lose in the first round stat? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out.
I'm
just trying to figure out who had a better year. I'm just not even being funny, like being honest.
Yeah.
Terrence Crawford had one fight this year. He ain't knocked the nigga out. And then Terrence Crawford, my man.
That's who I was gonna say too.
but he didn't have one. He ain't had one fight this year. He ain't fight that Spence fight was like a year and a half ago. He only had one fight this year. Tatum, okay, I won a championship. That was good. Jaylen Brown had a good year. But I think she had a record-breaking year with what she's done. That's just my opinion. I think what she done was sensational. I think that she's getting backlash because she's white in a black person's sport, my personal opinion. And because the sport is majority black, that she feels that she has to apologize because there's so many black women that, you know, she's not the best player in the WNBA. Let's be clear about that. But I remember, what's shorty name? Taurasi? Saying she's going to have a hard time. It's going to be a big gap of how she do her thing. These rookies are coming in and about to face reality. And she came in and started busting ass. Her and Angel Reese as well. They both came in busting ass when Diana Taurasi kind of threw all the rookies that were coming in under the bus.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just trying to figure out who had a good year that we could compare it to. Just my personal opinion.
I think one guy in baseball.
Tell me, that's what I'm saying.
Ohtani.
Ohtani had a great year.
50-50 home runs, 50
That's a
stolen
fact.
bases.
And they won the World Series.
And he was the National League MVP.
And he won the World
Series. Yeah, he won the World Series.
Now, that's the name. I like that. Ohtani's a great name. See, I don't follow baseball, but I remember it was a big deal about the 50-50.
Yeah.
You win the league MVP, and you win the World Series.
World Series.
That may be somebody that we can definitely put above her. I would definitely go with that. I like that answer.
I like that. I like that. And I would say the reason why I said Crawford, just for those listening, is because he's a 2-time undisputed champion. So he went from one weight class, came up to a whole nother weight class. That's when he beat Spence. And now he jumped to a whole nother weight class. Even though it's one fight, it takes as much as it takes for basketball for a person to have one of those fights. So that's what I was thinking. So, but I definitely understand what you were saying, Killer.
Yeah, I just think they boxers are not as active as I like them to be active, me personally. But yeah, 2-time undisputed is a big deal. But I just think that the award is for the year, it says.
Yeah.
So it isn't like over when you won your first disputed, it's what you've done for this year, because next year is going to be somebody else. My next thing is this, and I get what Caitlin Clark is doing, and I think it's honorable what she's doing, but, you know, I think that she said the right thing. But you got people, and not just her, like as black people, we had to fight, crawl, scrape to get to where we at today. I'm talking about throughout history. But I don't think niggas, me personally, like Stat said the other day, I don't think people should be apologizing. She didn't say this, but I'm going to get to what she said. For winning the sperm lottery. If your father owned Walmart, and then that's your father, you supposed to apologize because your father owns Walmart, or your father owns Buick, or your father is a billionaire, so you got to apologize because you a good athlete. And my father's rich. And I said Caitlin Clark comes from a rich family, but she's white. So now because she comes from a white family, she has to apologize for being white. And ain't her fault she white. You act like it was a decision that she was white. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because when we was talking, and I'm going to say it on the camera, it's like when somebody tries to act like they're something that they're not and a race that they're not. And I won't get into specifics on who she's talking about, but it's corny when you're trying to be something that you're not. Like, yo, I'm the so-and-so, so-and-so. And I don't want to get specific, but just be proud of who you are. I'm just saying that I don't think people need to be apologizing for something that they can't control. You know, if it was something that you can control, I understand that. But dag, okay, Cam, I go play in an all-white, I go play hockey, and I'm the best hockey player. I gotta apologize, like, you know what, my fault, y'all, for using my black athletic skills to be way better than y'all niggas. Does that make sense? Do Tiger Woods gotta go apologizing for kicking ass for 15 years in golf because he's the black person in a majority white person sport? Yo, my bad, y'all, I got more accuracy and hit the ball better. That's what I'm saying. And as black people, I get it because what we were suppressed throughout the years. So I understand where Caitlin Clark is coming from, especially playing among so many great players in the WNBA. But you can't help how you were born, in my opinion.
I think she's saying she want to win it fair and square. I think that's more so what she's speaking to. She believes she can win it without them helping her.
Yeah. To kind of add to your point too, I honestly do think it's just guilt because she's the first WNBA player to win this honor. And we've seen a lot of things back to back, even though she is, playing to the best of her abilities because she is a great athlete. It's like all these things kind of have came to her and all this attention and all these discussions that she never even warranted. She just came to play basketball in the league and people started all these things around her. So I think, especially because we see that she doesn't really speak much on these topics, she saw it as an opportunity like this is a big stage. Let me just say the things that I haven't spoke on throughout the year and throughout the season because people kept saying, dang, Caitlin, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you talk about that? We want to know your opinion on this. And she was very mute. So I think that she took the time when she was being honored to just kind of address all the things that people have kind of been hounding her about throughout the season because she never really had the opportunity to speak on it. During the season, it was strictly basketball. Look, I came to play. Now the season's over. It's off season. Now she can kind of reflect on a lot of the things that were kind of thrown at her. So I think that that's kind of how it translated. But
I think to factor in, and other college females could probably attest to this, which I have no knowledge on. For me, just watching the fact, and I'm pretty sure some other WNBA players are going to be like, Cam, I did the same fucking thing, da-da-da-da. But I think what they're attributing is not just the WNBA season, the college shit was all this year. It was kind of back to back.
Yes.
So that's why I was saying the year. It wasn't just what she did in the WNBA. We got to realize, because Caitlin Clark's success is happening fast, she was just in college this year. She was just in the NCAA. Then a couple months after that, she just was in the WNBA.
Right.
So it's all in the year 2024. And that's why I said, that's why I would, until White said Otani, I was like, this year she had a great year. But I'm pretty sure it'd be some other college females would be like, every WNBA female like, Cam, I went to UConn, killed niggas, and then I went and won the chip, and they ain't give me shit. So I get that as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
And one of the things that, to your point, Killer, is that when she first came out of college, she didn't even make the USA team. So I think that's one of the objective views to what we're discussing is that how do you become player of the year if you're not, or athlete of the year, if you're not even the best player in your sport?
To me, they're marketing, all this is just marketing the league. That's my opinion. I think whoever is running those ads, who's ever spending that money, somebody got behind her. I'm pretty sure the same thing goes on in music. Whoever we can put dollars behind and advertise the best and sell products against, I think it's more that she gets more traction, and that's not to down any other black woman who's played the game. That's not to say anything about them, but I think like she's the great white hope for the next 15, 20 years. And sometimes we hate when business and artistry or talent or whatever it is get in the way. But I think it's just like two different issues. I think like somebody saying, hey, this white girl can sell products and we gonna market her and make her seem like the best thing ever. And that's not to say that she's not a good basketball player. And I agree with both of y'all. You have better players in the WNBA. But I think this is that. And she sees it. But that's America. That's capitalism.
Yeah. And I was saying that because I definitely am a supporter of Caitlin Clark, and I believe that both of y'all had great points. I was just sharing that for people that are thinking that, so their voice is heard on the show as well.
Yeah. And then just to kind of add to that too, because I know you're like, well, if she's not the best player, like her impact was huge, because even down to like, if we're talking about music, when they were talking about like the best pop whatever in the 20th century by Billboard, people were like, okay, why is it Beyonce if Taylor Swift? But it's like, some people are like, Taylor Swift, to me, I'm not saying me, to other people, isn't the best, pop singer. Why isn't she first? Like, if she has all this impact.
Yeah, that's a question that's always asked. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that we heard that here, because that's exactly what they would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you get Artist of the Year, how are you Artist of the Year? You're not even the best in your neighborhood.
Right.
That is a valid point.
Right. All good discussions in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. We're going to talk about one more before we wrap.
what you want, nigga. Everything, nigga, super size. 2 Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.